Today we're going to talk about some nice and great tasting Irish whiskeys. Oh, you know I'm excited. Let's go! Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Carlos. Thank you for joining me. Maybe I should have some bagpipes. Yeah, those are some horrible bagpipes, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking out the video and checking out the channel. I really appreciate having you guys here. I love this community, guys. Thank you for getting me over that 2,500 subscriber goal that I had. And we're gonna have that live stream in April. It's coming up, and we would really appreciate that. I'm gonna start putting out some feelers about days for that, but definitely would appreciate you guys all joining, and we're gonna give that live giveaway out there, so stay tuned for that. Thank you everybody that joined my last live stream about Irish whiskeys, where I had Jason, my friend from My Whiskey Therapy. So definitely a good live stream. Go back and watch it, and we kind of went over a blind flight of Irish whiskey. So also go check out Jason over there, his channel. He just started it, so he's gonna be putting out some new content, but go give him a subscribe. Jason at My Whiskey Therapy. I'll either put it here or here. And also, while you're doing that, please give me another subscribe, or give me a subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, because am I crazy for thinking that we can get to 5,000 before the end of the year?
You're crazy.
I don't know. I know I can do it with your help, and I would really appreciate it. So definitely give me a holler, give me a subscribe there if you're not yet subscribed. Well, what are we doing today? We are going through some Irish whiskeys. Now, I try to do a video and talk about a lot of Irish whiskeys, but I gotta just talk about one from each of these brands, right? Because I try to talk about a few of them and it just went really long. So we'll see if we can do a better job now. There's probably the third take that I do on this, but I gotta pour myself something. I'm gonna pour myself one of these here, and we're gonna do an inaugural cheers. So again, we're gonna talk about some Irish whiskeys that I recommend that you buy or buy a pour of in St. Patrick's Day, right? Because what I don't want is for you to go out and think that like proper 12 or the cheap Jamesons are, you know, your best choice out there, right? And this is more for like beginners going into Irish whiskeys. There's so many Irish whiskeys, and this is just a little bit of education of my palate and what I would recommend if you're similar to my palate. First, let's do this little inaugural cheers. So cheers. That is great. That is freaking great. Let's get into it though, because I already had some green beer today, so I'm ready to go. So first off, Jameson is probably one of the ones that comes up to everybody's mind when you talk about Irish whiskey, right? And I will give you two that I would definitely recommend. Jameson Black is under 50 bucks. It's like 30 something bucks in my area, and it is such a good Irish whiskey. It's 80 proof, so it's a little bit low, but it's triple distilled and just tastes really good. It is head over heels better than those cheap Jamesons, like the sub 20, 25 buck Jamesons. Yeah, I would rather get that. So if you haven't tasted this, definitely go out and get that. If you want something a little different and you want to stick to that St. Patrick's Day feel, hello, Jameson Stout Edition, right? So this is Jameson, good Jameson, with finished in craft beer barrels, and it's stout beer barrels, right? So you get that like stout beer, which you get that like Irish whiskey or Irish beer taste from the Guinness in the Irish. So it gives you those like dark chocolate or coffee notes while you're drinking this, and getting that like whiskey note as well. So definitely they merge the two worlds together, and I think they did a great job. So definitely check out these two bottles from Jameson. Now, before I move on, I gotta tell you, there's a lot that I haven't put on here because there's a lot of Irish whiskey. So these are the ones that I've, one, tasted, two, really like, and three, just wanted to put on here and recommend, right? Because I have a few that I haven't put on here. So there are a few though that I don't have a bottle of, so I will get into those. Like this next one, I just tasted this one at my local ABC, so thank you for my friend over there. You know who you are, but this is called Knapbug, I think I said that right, Castle, and it's a 12-year-old. It is around that 80 proof, and both of these Jamesons were around 80 proof. I believe this one was as well. Yep, 80 proof. But this is 80 proof as well. It is 12 years old, but it is just so good. You get that you get like a little bit of lemon, some refreshing taste. You get obviously the vanilla, the Irish, the butterscotch, but it is so good and so light and refreshing that I had to put it on this list, right? And I'm probably gonna get myself one of these bottles, but thank you for giving me those tastings there. And yeah, this is one that, it's a new one to me at least, but I would definitely put it on an Irish whiskey list. All right, one that I have to say is a little different, but it definitely calls over the bourbon drinkers. And if you haven't drank this and you're a bourbon drinker and you don't like Irish whiskeys, then maybe you should give this one a try. Now we're gonna bump it up to like 92 proof, right? And this is Keeper's Heart. So I think this is really freaking good. And this is 92 proof. And what they do here is that they blend Irish whiskeys with American bourbon, is what they say. So bourbon, because you know, American bourbon has to be from America. But yeah, we'll let that slide. Anyways, it's American bourbon, as they say, and Irish whiskey. I think that was like more like a marketing ploy, but whatever. It puts it both together, so you do get those notes from the bourbons, like the cherry, the vanilla, the caramel, the toffee, the oak, and then you get some of the taste from the Irish whiskey. So it's definitely a nice blend of both worlds. And definitely if you're one of those bourbon drinkers that say, I haven't found a Irish whiskey that I like, I implore you to try that one. And it's more around the better range that most bourbon drinkers like, because it's already in the 92 proof. None of that like 80 proof crap, right? So I would definitely recommend that. Now, all of these that I just mentioned are around $50 or under, right? So those are like really good, like budget Irish whiskeys, I would say. Now there's a lot of other ones, Ryder's Tears, Teeling, Tullamore Bushmills, Sexton, right? But these are the ones that I want to put on this list for now. And I gotta talk about two other ones, right? Because these kind of go up in price. Because another one that comes to mind when you talk about Irish whiskey is Redbreast, right? Now, I love myself some Redbreast 12 cask strength, right? That is definitely one that I would always, to the heart, recommend. I don't have a bottle of it right now, so I'll put it here, but I think that is such a great whiskey, right? And it takes it up to cask strength. Now, it also does take it up to almost $100, because in my area, I find that for like 95 bucks. I've seen it in some places for a little bit over $100. So you gotta know that that's the price range that you're stepping to, but you're getting a lot for your money at the end of the day, right? Now, if you don't wanna go up too high, but you still want a little bit of experimenting with Redbreast, I wouldn't go just Redbreast 12. I mean, you could, it's still good, but I would try one of their finished ones, like this Lustow. Yep, Lustow. I think I'm saying it right, Lustow edition, and this is sherry finish, right? This is, I believe, under 100 bucks. I think it's like the $70 range. I think I have that right. If I don't have it right, I'll put the real price here. So it's definitely still under 100 bucks. And it's really good, right? I personally like, between this one and the PX Sherry one, the PX Sherry one. I think that is amazing, and go and watch our blind flight that I did with Jason at my whiskey therapy on the last live, where we actually had that as one of the tastings in that blind. And I really do enjoy that PX Sherry one, but then you're kind of stepping a little bit over $100. So I don't know, I think that's like 115 around there. So yeah, and it's a little harder to find. So yeah, definitely something to look into, but it is so good, and it's definitely something that I would recommend. Now, if we go Redbreast, then you kind of got to go to like its competitor, what I would say, and talk about the spots. You got green spot, you got yellow spot, red spot, blue spot, and everyone's in between, right? So green spot is where you start off, then they have those wine finishes. So if that's your thing, by all means, or if you just want to try the spots, then that's a good place to try. Now, to not go too crazy in price, but not go too low as just a regular green spot, I would recommend this yellow spot. 12 years old, 92 proof, and still freaking great. I would definitely recommend this one. It does get you over that $100 range. It's kind of more around the 120 or 130, but again, quality. You get what you pay for. So I would definitely recommend that. Now, you could go full force and get a red spot for like almost 200, or you could get a blue spot for like 200 and something, 300, which is cask strength. But this yellow spot, I think, gets you started on the way, and then you don't have to spend too much money. Now, I was talking about blue spot cask strength. I tasted a cask strength that somebody gave me. Josh, thank you so much for that sample, because it was really good. I'm gonna buy a bottle. Now, this cask strength that I'm talking about is Natterjack. So I'll put a picture of it here. RJ the Fed and Drizzo over there at Drizzo Nation were the ones that put everybody on for that. They were on one of my live streams, and they talk about it as well in their live streams a lot. But they talk about Natterjack, which is a great Irish whiskey. It's a little different though. It's more malty and like soda-y taste, but it is so freaking good. And at under $100, or maybe a little at $100, it is such a great one. So thank you, Drizzo and RJ the Fed. I'll put their channels here for putting everybody onto that. Now, one that I have to recommend, but it's not an Irish whiskey, is this Kentucky Owl Irish, well, no, not Irish, St. Patrick's Day edition. Now, it's like if I were to go out and put on a leprechaun suit and act Irish. This is basically what this is doing, right? It's disguising itself as an Irish whiskey, but it really isn't. It is a merger that they did, like a blend and collaboration blend, but it has no Irish whiskey in it. It just has those notes per se, with Louis McGuane, an Irish whiskey bonder, and John Rayo from Kentucky Owl. It is 100 proof. It is around that $100 range. I bought it for about $105 2 years ago, and I have more than one bottle. So I would definitely recommend this. This is such a great one, especially if you're that bourbon drinker that doesn't know if they want to go to Irish. Those are the ones that I would recommend, guys. Let me know if I missed any, if you have any favorites. Let me know what you think about this list. Comment below, because love hearing back from you guys. Do me some favors, like or dislike this video. Please subscribe, because I am trying to get to that 5,000 subscriber goal. Lastly, check out the Patreon in the description, because that always helps me out. $3 at the bare minimum can definitely do a lot. And I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this yellow spot, but I want you to enjoy that whiskey and have a happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers.